Hello everyone. Hello everyone, and thank you very much for your attention, for participating in today's stream. And of course, many thanks to all the members of our community who will join later on and who will watch this update in recording. And today is of course 5th of June. Now it's 9 o'clock in the evening, Moscow time, and as I understand, all programs are working. I'm online, so let's start. And as you can see in the headlines, in a headline of the live stream, main topics is basically NATO-Russia confrontation. Let's hope this confrontation will stay in a cold phase and will not escalate into the hot war. Also, of course, I will share some information about Ukraine, Middle East, and by the way, most importantly, I will monitor Boosty, of course, platform. If I see any question during the live stream on Boosty, I will definitely give my best to answer as informatively as I possibly can. Also, I will monitor donation alerts. This program, donation alerts, works only during the live streams. It's one company, by the way, Boosty and donation alerts. It's one company, just two different platforms. One is working always, one just during the live streams. And of course, I will actively monitor chat, and if I see questions, it's even better, by the way. If there will be questions, I will just be engaged with the chat, and time to time I will share some news. It's always more interesting to have a conversation in real time with the community. So Nedish Kumar is commenting, I'm very sad from yesterday that BJP did not get enough majority to make its government. Why? Nedish, with coalition party, with party that is Democratic Coalition, or I cannot remember name now, that BJP is cooperating together with them. They can definitely create a majority in parliament, and I guess Modi, even though Modi and the entire government stepped down today, according as it is demanded by law, I'm quite sure Modi will return as a prime minister. Most likely, this legendary foreign minister Jai Shankar will return to his office if he is not against it, because it's demanding work, of course. And many other ministers, I guess, will return. Although it is quite surprising that BJP alone did not manage to get enough votes to create majority, just on their own. Especially because under current leadership, I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong or I understand wrongly, but yes, NDA coalition, yes, and but in my personal opinion, under current leadership, India clearly become major player on a global scale. I mean, if anyone denies that India is a major superpower and major player in geopolitical affairs, I will say that person doesn't understand nothing in global politics. India is growing fast, by the way, and according to statistics that I see, around 2050, India will become strong third economy with huge margin in this world, and if reforms continue and grow continue, and I'm quite sure that's how it's gonna be, for 2070 India will bypass US. For 2070 India will bypass US, by the way, with its GDP. And by PPP index, most likely India will bypass US even earlier than that. So, I mean, I don't know. Current government is doing quite okay, in my personal opinion. I never been in India. I can judge only by news that is available in open sources and by some statistics numbers, but that's my understanding. Now with coalition government in India, West can pressure and also no reforms will be passed. Well, I mean, maybe, I mean, you are too skeptical, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, Modi is the most popular politician. Foreign minister is, I guess, one of the most popular politicians in India because he is clearly one of the most popular politicians worldwide. So, and when it comes to ruling class of the West, they will try to pressure India anyways. No matter who is in the government, they will try to create some divide in between BRICS member states, because that's the way that Western ruling class was operating for century, divide and conquer. So in this regard, BJP will be alone in the majority or with the coalition. Western ruling class will try to pressure anyway. That's for sure. Yaroslav Pelicek is asking why Russia's Spetsnaz prefer caliber 7.62 mm over 5.45 mm. They certainly have some reasons. I hear these rumors, by the way. I don't know exactly because I'm no military person. I have no connection with the Spetsnaz, but I hear rumors that not just Spetsnaz, but some militaries prefer 7.62 AK, old caliber AKs, maybe because it has more power, it has more firepower, and the bullet is more stable. Because 5.45 bullet is, as far as legends go, by the way, they are ricocheting too much. If you are using 5.45 in a forest, for example, it is highly likely that if bullet will hit some, ветви, как это по-русски, some wood, it will change trajectory straight away, while chances are that 7.62 will just go through this small ветви of the tree and will hit target anyways. Maybe that's a reason that it's just more powerful. But 5.45 is more accurate, as far as I understand. Exactly because of the smaller caliber, it makes стрельбу более кучной. I mean, bullets are hitting more in one group. But yet again, I'm no military expert, dear friend. I have no idea. This is just my understanding of that question, that topic. So, dear friends, let's before I did not see any question, let's go through some Telegram. I have a message here, by the way. Jerry Kogan, thank you very much for subscribing to my Boosty channel. Very grateful. Thank you. And let me check donation alerts for questions. So yes, let's continue with Telegram. And dear friends, I have a little announcement to make. Because today I was experimenting with the speed of internet with VPN, and well, at least today speed even through VPN was quite okay, quite high. I have new providers, so this internet is much faster than previous one, and I will continue to do these little experiments before end of this week. And if it will work okay, if speed will stay high enough, then maybe from next week I will start I will return Telegram reports to the Rumble channel, because many members of our community on Rumble were, they were quite okay with this program. They liked this program, and it was good opportunity to be in touch on regular basis and have a real conversation in a real time among each other. So let's see if nothing will change in terms of internet of speed from Nick Corell is commenting 545 is far superior than 762. Most likely that's the case. Otherwise, why would after AK-47 decision would be made to create AK-74 and change this caliber? That's exactly the case. But still, I know that some troopers, including Spetsnaz, according to rumors, are preferring 762, but I don't know why exactly. Maybe because just more firepower. So yes, to go back to that topic of speed of internet, if everything is okay, then I will definitely try to resume Telegram reports on Rumble from Monday. Let's see. And by the way, when it comes to question, by the way, I see question. Yaroslav Pelecek is asking, do you have any good Russian singer to recommend except Maidanov, Shaman, Belaya Slater, and Pelegeya? Well, I would recommend Toto, by the way. If you are, if you like reggae music, reggae vibe and style, then I will recommend Toto. Tio. I listen quite often to his songs. I will recommend Miyagi, by the way. They also, reggae had a quite significant influence on this group also. This group, Miyagi, by the way, is from North Ossetia, Alania region of the Russian Federation, Autonomous Republic. So Miyagi and Toto, for sure. I don't really have much time for for music. Only some time if I have opportunity to just take a beer or two. I may listen to some music, and therefore I may not remember now. But Miyagi and Toto for sure. They are, they have some good music, at least for my taste. So, and there is of course a huge number of great musicians. By the way, I'm just not so much. I don't really have that much time to pay attention to it. I have to be in news from morning and before I go sleep. So therefore, And well, to go back to Telegram, by the way, first of all, of course, when I start working day, first post is a greeting to our community. Today, I start my working day 6:40 in the morning. Next, I share, of course, information about St. Petersburg's Economical Forum, which started today and will last until June 8th. And the main topic of the forum is the basis of the multipolarity and the formation of the growth centers. I'm quite sure this forum gonna be successful, and also I'm sure that Western ruling class will try its best to somehow distract attendees or delegations that want to visit, and they will probably try to make some barriers for the delegations from different countries, but still forum gonna be quite representative and successful. Contracts will be signed for billions and billions, I guess. which will be beneficial for all sides. Jerry Cogan is asking, I can't catch the name of that reggae artist that Levan mentioned. Can anyone type out? Just a sec. This is Toto, by the way. That's one. Second. That's one. And that's another one. I guess that's how it's written, Miyagi. Hopefully that's how it's written. I know Miyagi is a band, by the way. Miyagi is a band, and Toto is a solo artist. Also, a question from Nidish Kumar. What is Russia expecting by recognizing Taliban? Is it because to counter ISIS or just being pragmatic? It is, both. I will say. And the first part of your question is definitely can be part of second one also, because to recognize Taliban, to combat, for example, more successfully ISIS, it's also a practical move. And to recognize Taliban, to remove Taliban from terrorist group names. I mean, Taliban is recognized as the terrorist organization, but it will this recognition will be removed from this, like Kazakhstan did just yesterday or day before, and that will, of course, increase opportunities for both sides to cooperate in many fields. By the way, Afghanistan has a potential. Afghanistan has strategical geography. It clearly has some potential, by the way, and Russia, among other BRICS member states, can play significant role in inevitable development of Afghanistan. So it's a very practical. It's a very practical, and at the same time, by the way, good relationships with the Taliban will ensure that there will be no big scale confrontation between Taliban and Tajikistan. Because, as we know, there is a Panjshir Canyon in Afghanistan. This Panjshir Canyon, Panjshir Valley is controlled by local groups, not necessarily Taliban is in charge there. And the locals, majority of the locals and armed formations are Tajiks, ethnic Tajiks, and I guess Uzbeks also. And of course, Taliban tried on initial stages, once they established control over the vast majority of the country, they tried to establish control over this region of Afghanistan also, but there were some skirmishes between the sides, and now it's little Panjshir, yes, and by recognizing Taliban, Russia may negotiate some sort of deal between these groups in Panjshir and Taliban. Also, Russia can mediate between Tajikistan and Taliban to make sure that situation on the border is secure, because it's a strategic interest of Russia. And of course, it plays a crucial role. The Taliban, as far as I understand, I'm not expert, of course, in Islam, but as far as I understand, Taliban is, not a moderate Chechenian, not moderator. Just a sec, dear friends. I need to Chechenia. Flow, not moderate. Flow is not right word. Okay. Okay. Taliban may not be most moderates in Islam, but still they are not as radicals, as far as I understand, as ISIS was, and therefore, of course, to get allied with the Taliban to combat ISIS also does makes a lot of sense. And I believe, by the way, India, for example, most likely will also try to cope, have some lines of communication with the Taliban, because at least because Taliban and Pakistan nowadays are not really on extremely friendly terms, and we all know about, unfortunately, about these difficult relationships between India and Pakistan. Although, by the way, I really want hope that these two countries will deal with all the issues eventually. This is one people, for God's sake, man. Only difference is religion. I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but in my understanding, Indians and Pakistanis, they are one people. They have very much similar, very much one roots, and in cultural terms are quite similar. In tradition wise also, yes, there is differences in religion, and what I mean, that's not big deal, really. We can respect all the religions. It's not difficult, by the way. It's a right move to do. So hopefully there will be one day both countries will achieve peace. It's not gonna be easy, I understand, but it will benefit both, for sure. So Michael Kennedy is commenting 53 billion of US military equipment still in Afghanistan. Make sure the Yankees don't get it back. Yes, that's also quite a big issue, isn't it? How US military is left behind so much equipment? It's beyond my understanding, man. I just don't get it. I mean, I don't know how they managed to do it, but they did, So then, by the way, I will continue, if I may, with this video here. This is Australia, I believe. Yes, bizarre cloud formations over the Sydney. This is from today, by the way. In Australia already, possibly it's tomorrow in Australia, but when I shared this video, it was still today. These time differences are quite something, isn't it? And well, quite strange cloud, interesting one. And whenever I see this type of stuff, I'm trying to share on my Telegram, because it's just something different, because this news constantly can be irritating, 100%. Also, by the way, I spoke about it in the first update, that a Russian cosmonaut, Oleg Kononenko, is the first human to spend 1,000 days in total in space. Well, great achievement, of course. After like 100-200 years, people probably will be born and will spend the entire life in space, in some huge spacecraft. But for us, as a beginners in space travel and space explorations, it is the achievement, of course, 1,000 days. And then I share a link, of course, to first part of today's update on YouTube, and it was on Rumble also, of course. And then second part from my Patreon page. Also interesting news that gunmen attacked US embassy in Lebanon today. This gunman was shot eventually and taken to the hospital, and according to some reports, two other individuals were wounded during this attack. And also, unfortunately, a member of Alternative for Germany party was attacked with a knife in Mannheim in Germany. this knife crime is some nemesis of modern Europe, isn't it? People are running around with knives and killing each other. I mean, this is crazy, though. It's a big issue for UK, and it's becoming big issue in continental part of the Europe also, unfortunately. And if in UK it's usually it's some gang related crimes when it comes to knives. Unfortunately, in Europe it's a hate crime. It seems to me, at least. There are of course terrorist attacks also. Like this one is a clearly terrorist attack because politician was targeted. So this is really unfortunate, but Al Peterson is commenting, asking, Levan, I want to buy a Levan Gudadze sweater. Have you thought any more about merch? Yes, sometime, me and my wife, we are exchanging opinions about which way this project can develop, and merch is one of the directions, but I just don't know how all that stuff is working, and I don't have enough knowledge about this business side of things. I can work with the news, big volume of news. I can try my best to analyze and then share information in best of my abilities. But when it comes to business side of things, I'm not really good businessman. As you can see, I don't even have advertising, by the way. On YouTube, our community is 25,400. We reached 25,400 today. On Telegram, as you can see, 3,232 members right now. On Rumble, 2,000, more than 2,000. So probably there are some advertisers that will give me some contract for advertising. But I just because I'm not a businessman, I don't know how to organize all this stuff. And when it comes to merch, I mean, I don't know if my wife will find time to help me with that, or maybe it will work out, or maybe someday I will meet with someone and I will receive some help in that regard, because I was thinking time to time that I can make some sweaters or something, like mug with some phrases that I use quite often, and it's a joke. It's become a joke for our community, like it is what it is, or I don't know, by the way, or something else. There are some phrases that members of our community repeating in the comment sections quite often. So one day maybe, but right now I don't even know how to do this stuff, merch and that kind of stuff. So but thank you for giving me additional boost. That idea may be interesting. Then I share, by the way, this information that let me check here. Al Peterson, thank you very much for your donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. No question though. On a boosty. And let me check here also. So yes, merch. It's a good idea. I mean, one day maybe, but Yes, Al Peterson is commenting. Yes, okay, Levan, I understand. It can be a future project. Yes, maybe. I mean, it's I know all the many channels, maybe not all channels, but many channels have merch, and it's a significant part of income. And of course, if I had that additional source of income, that will make life much easier. But and this project will probably have much better chances to succeed. But I just don't know how to do it, man. That's it, you know. So then I share this information, by the way, quite interesting news that Israel is approaching the point of making decision on Lebanon. The military is ready for offensive actions. Times of Israel, with reference to the chief of the general staff of the Israeli army, Herzi Halevi, shared today this information with the public. And by the way, if what we see already is tragedy, huge tragedy, what we see in the Gaza Strip, then can you imagine how much bigger devastation can bring a full-scale war between Israel and Lebanon, Lebanese Hezbollah, to both sides, by the way, and to entire region. Hezbollah is, I mean, yet again, I'm no military expert, but as far as I understand, Hezbollah is like incomparably more stronger than Hamas. So I don't know what is wrong with Netanyahu's government, why they are trying to constantly escalate and create some regional war, to provoke some regional war. But I mean, this is clearly a bad idea, man. This is clearly a bad idea. Best Netanyahu's government can now is to, you know, probably step down and let some normal people to, you know, just de-escalate and achieve peace, because this is crazy, man. If Times of Israel is correct and IDF is getting prepared to start war with the Hezbollah now, full-scale war. Both sides are shelling each other on regular basis, on daily basis, but at least it's not full-scale war at this point. And by the way, quite devastating news from Ukraine. Ukraine's ex-deputy prime minister implicated in a human organ harvesting conspiracy. An unnamed official was reportedly among 11 suspects fingered by a report in Ukrainian news outlet Strana this week, with the group facing up to 12 years in prison for exploiting relaxed laws on organ transportation. This is, of course, also a tragic story, what is happening in Ukraine when it comes to organ harvesting. It's one of the main places where organs have been, you know, harvested by criminals. And when I see this story, it remind me situation of the 90s when there was a civil war in Yugoslavia, and then in Serbia when Kosovars started fighting against Serbia, and at some point Kosovo became a main hub for organ harvesting, according to some reports at the time. And even at the time, head of Kosovo's armed, you know, militia, who became eventually leader of the Kosovo, was charged with there was allegations against him that he was participating in organ harvesting crimes. And I'm afraid Ukraine is gonna become like 10-20 times worse than Kosovo was in 90s, late 90s. So I don't know. This regime has to be finished. By the way, this Zelensky's regime and all those criminals have to be finished. Otherwise, Ukrainian society will, which is already in extremely difficult situation, will I don't know how they're gonna survive, man, under such a criminals in the government. Question: what is the legal position of Mr. Ritter's Russian sponsor? Yes, sir. I shared information on in the second part of today's update on Patreon. Well, this person, I cannot remember now name of that individual. Several people were arrested in for allegations of some corruption stuff, and there are two individuals are under house arrest. And this person, who was the sponsor of the Ritter, who's supposed to be sponsor of the Ritters and Judge Napolitano's visit, this person is under arrest until 2nd of August. And I would not be surprised at all, because I would not be surprised at all if he will be freed, because when I read this information, I get feeling that maybe there was some tenders, by the way, in Far East regions of Russia. There was some tenders, and one company won and another one lost, and maybe this another one brings some charges against this group. And that's why investigators made decision to, just take some action. And if that's the case, if exactly that's what has happened, then most likely this individual sponsor of the Scott Ritter will be freed on 2nd of August. But yet again, let's wait what investigation will say and what decision will be made by judge, by court. So it's a preliminary arrest, isn't it? Police has a right to arrest for a month person while investigation is conducted, and if after months judge is not happy with their investigation, judge can let suspect off out of preliminary detection. But yet again, as you can know, I'm no lawyer, so it's not a topic that I'm strong in. Al-Rabi is commenting, yes, but why can't European leaders stop arming Israel? Question from Al-Rabi. I don't know, dear friend. Statements being made, isn't it? At least later on, there was recognitions of the Palestine from number of European states, and many politicians in Europe are not really feeling comfortable by being in position when they are still supporting Netanyahu and his government. But it's I don't know what it is really, man. For me, it's not question. I have nothing against Israel. I have nothing against Palestine. For me, priority is the lives of the people. As an ordinary human being, that's an obvious priority. But those ones in high-ranking positions in Europe, who knows what their priorities are? Maybe they are corrupt. And maybe they've been paid to act in a certain way, or maybe they've been blackmailed. God knows, man, what is going on in that level. So I don't know. Al-Rabi is commenting, look, Levan, I respect your decision for condemning the knife crime, but you also have to understand why people are so angry at the establishment. Yes, people may get angry at establishment, but law is law. If we start breaking laws left and right, then eventually society will end up even in a worse place than it is now. And therefore, there should be some barriers. There should be something that, never to be crossed. No matter how frustrated you are, no matter how angry you are, you should never cross certain lines, because you, as a person, I believe, if when people are crossing that line, they are losing their souls. You cannot go beast mode, man. It's just no good, man. It's I mean, it's cannot be justified, and therefore, I mean, because I don't like establishment and I don't like politicians, but I will never ever think about take knife or something and go and smash somebody. I mean, I will never even think about it. Nothing to say about doing it. It's just extreme, beyond understanding. So it's always better to get together, like-minded people, and use whatever peaceful means exist in a certain situation, and fight for better tomorrow. I mean, that's the best way, I will say. But yet again, I mean, it's just my opinion, you know. So HB Fash is commenting t-shirt idea for merch. Russia, it is what it is. Yes, I know. I'm using that quite often. It is what it is. I don't know why they're friends. I don't know when I record videos. I'm concentrated to remember English words and to construct sentences as fast as I can to share information in best possible ways, because when I'm preparing programs, by the way, for example, let's take a look at this. So this is news that I prepared already for tomorrow. I will of course add some news today and tomorrow morning, and this is all the news that I have already prepared for tomorrow, by the way. Just look at this. Then I will choose some of this. Probably I will not report about all of this, otherwise update will be I don't know 3 hours. But I will choose some of this news, and for tomorrow I will line up this news, and then I will start recording. And when I'm recording, by the way, I don't really remember this lineup no more. And quite often when I, for example, open this page here and I see news, it takes a couple of seconds at least to remember this news is about what about, you know. And I'm concentrated always to if it's in English, okay, I mean, it's a bit easier, but if it's in Russian, then it makes me a little more stressed, because I have to try my best to translate information as fast as I can, and when sometime I'm struggling to find some words, probably I'm coming up with this kind of phrases like "it is what it is," by the way, and all the others. I don't know. After all, English is not my first or second or third language, so I'm still struggling with with it. So, but hopefully my English is getting a little better, man. Yes, I mean, Nitish Kumar, I agree with you. I agree with you. You know, it's become a catchphrase for me. It is what it is. And sometimes I want to laugh during recording, by the way. I want to laugh at myself, but I can't, because I have to be focused, and you know, the news, and you know. Jerry Kogan is commenting, I still think Levan should read out some of the Russian headlines in Russian. I like trying to read the Russian words, but I don't know if I am pronouncing them correctly. I can do, dear friends, if community will be okay with it. Of course, I can I mean, read in the beginning in Russian and then just in English. I can try tomorrow. if I didn't forget, by the way, because that's also a big issue when you are working in this field and you are when you are receiving quite a volume of information. I mean, like dozens and dozens of news. At some point, you're losing focus, and that's why sometimes members of my family are telling me something, and I will say okay. And in reality, I'm not here. Physically, I'm here, but in my mind, I'm thinking about some news or something, and then when members of my family are asking about stuff that they already told me, I get lost because I just can't remember. Even though I reacted at the moment automatically or something. So yeah, I can try tomorrow. Why not? Oh, thank you. Nadish, your English is fine. No fake accent. Very natural. That's why I talk. I don't know. My accent should be Russian, Georgian mix, but as long as members of our community can understand what I mean when I say something, I mean it's okay. And of course, I'm trying to improve. I listen to so many channels in English that hopefully my pronounce will improve, my language will improve, and I will pronounce words more and more correctly. Because remember, I'm struggling, for example, with wounded and winded. I'm pronouncing wrongly, and there are so many members of our community were correcting me, and I'm grateful for that, and so many other instances, by the way. Smoky Sally is also commenting. Levan, reader in headlines in Russian. I promise you, if it's okay, dear friends, I mean, it's easy to me, so yes, why not? It will be something little different. So from tomorrow, at least I will read some of the headlines to make sure that people that didn't like that will not get mad at me. But I will read at least some headlines in English. You say oysters, I say oysters. My questions are not posting. Dear friends, that's also a big deal, of course. This algorithm of the YouTube, it does some crazy stuff, and unfortunately, there was so many times when I'm responding to a question on comment sections, and I write comment, and I'm continuing, I'm reading comments, and then after some time, when I checked comment section again, I see very same question, but there was no my answer there. So YouTube is deleting not just your comments, by the way, YouTube is deleting my comments also on my channel. And it was just ordinary exchange of opinions. I cannot remember subject of it, but it was just simple stuff, nothing extraordinary. And many members of our community are saying that sometimes algorithm deletes even when you're commenting hello or hi or just greeting. That's what algorithm does, and I don't even know what we can do about it. Smoky Sally is commenting. I have some issues trying to read Russian. I don't really know how to pronounce their words right. Oh, I promise you, dear friends, as I said, I will definitely read first in Russian, and then I will translate it in English. Hopefully it will, majority of our community will like it. Yes, Nadish, the spelling is I mean, Russian language is also quite difficult in that regard. Georgian, for example, you say as you write, exactly the same alphabet, exactly the same sound, but in Russian, it's also like in English. Maybe even more difficult, by the way, because in Russian there is some alphabets that they are not even sounds, by the way. They make sound stronger or less stronger. For example, tвердый знак и мягкий знак. I don't even know how to translate this. So yes, in this regard, Bobby LaForce joining our conversation. Hello, good evening. So yes, and English is also difficult. I mean, you are writing one way and reading another, and sometimes when you say it, it sounds even more different. So yes, it's quite something. So dear friends, news. I forget that I have to share news also. We have a good chat, isn't it, dear friends? That's why it's a good idea in my opinion, because I like to be in active member of our community. So yes, ladies commenting пыль, and that's that's how you're gonna, it's a dust, by the way, if you translate. So Israeli military calls up 50,000 reserve soldiers in preparation for possible escalation with Lebanon. So additional indicator that maybe there will be some escalation between Israel and Lebanon. In recent days, there was information that because of the Lebanese fire, Hezbollah's strikes on northern Lebanon, there was some wildfire in the region, significant wildfire, and Israel responded. And today I read on some channel that Israel was accused that IDF used 17 different instances white phosphorus during strikes on Lebanon, and well, things are getting escalating more and more, unfortunately, between the two. Then I shared this information, by the way, this video. This is Romania. So a strong storm with a large hail hits Lassi County in Romania, and just look at these balls, by the way, of ice. It's bigger than like eggs. Can you imagine you are walking on the street and this ice will drop on your head, man? It might even injure someone, I mean, significantly. I mean, maybe even worse. Quite scary stuff, man. And of course there was some damage, and can you imagine how devastating this kind of weather is for trees and for fruits, for gardens, and nothing to be said about humans if they are under this in open air under such a hail. Then I share information about progress of special military operation during the previous 24 hours. Also, by the way, Russia will increase the number of military instructors in Burkina Faso and supply additional military products to their country, Lavrov stated during his visit. And Lavrov is already visited 3 countries in Africa, by the way, in last several days. Today he was in Chad, if I'm not mistaken. So, well, it's good, by the way. Russia is actively working in African continent, and in many countries, by the way, Russia is welcomed, which is great, by the way, which is good. Belarus will become a full member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. This was stated by Secretary General of the organization, Zhang Ming. And also great news for organization, also for Belarus. Right now, this Shanghai Cooperation Organization was established, of course, in 2001, and it includes India, Iran, Kazakhstan, China, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, Pakistan, and Uzbekistan. So also very serious organization, and of course BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization are, one may even say, affiliated somewhat, and both gonna play a huge role in the future. That's for sure. Then I shared a number of videos about from line of contact. This is a Russian drone targeting US-made M2 Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. It is easily recognizable. I mean, it's a Bradley. Then Russian airstrike on point of concentration of the Ukrainian forces. Quite a concentrated strike with the guided bombs, and this strike gives you understanding how precise those guided bombs really are. I mean, almost in one square, 4 bombs went down. Also, by the way, another Ukrainian tank was trying to hide, but then Lancer drone went on a hunt, and this tank was destroyed. As you can see, it's a Lancet X-shaped drone. When you see X-shaped drone, it's a Lancer drone. Also, by the way, Prime Minister of Slovakia, Roberto Fico, who was attacked on May 15, is recovering, and his health is improving. This was reported by Slovak radio. So great news. Let's hope he will fully recover and will go back to his work as soon as possible. I'm interested how this attack on him will influence his policies. Will he become a little softer, or maybe exactly opposite will happen? Today I read some comments. I'm not quite sure if that information was exactly the words that Fico said, but according to from what I see, Fico is angry at the political situation in the country and on political opposition that were spreading hate, and the attack on him clearly was a hate crime, although it was also terrorist attack, because this individual who attacked him was participating in pro-Ukrainian demonstrations. He was demanding weapons to be sent to Ukraine from Slovakia again, and that kind of stuff. Then this video, by the way, destruction of munition depot of the Kyiv regime. So, and this type of videos are, I'm not sharing even probably quarter of the videos that I see on daily basis. And when I share videos, I'm trying these videos not to be, very graphic, because who knows, maybe you are watching computer and your grandkids or your kids came close to monitor, and exactly at the time you are watching some video from a battlefield, and there is some graphic images there. You don't need this, and therefore I'm trying to minimize graphic footage on the Telegram. Then this video, by the way, of the suicidal attack of the Kyiv regime forces in one of the directions. And Russian side see this movement of this armored group. ITGM take out first vehicle, and then second vehicle was stopped by small arms fire, and as a result of short range battle between Russian and Ukrainian military personnel, this group from second armored vehicle was neutralized. It's a tragedy, man. How long this civil war gonna continue, man? It's really tragedy, man. And by the way, Abdi Alaudinov, head of Ahmad Special Forces, stated several days ago, and also today I see on some media sources, that he is quite sure that this conflict will end in 2024, and let's hope he is correct. Let's hope he is correct, by the way, because I mean this madness cannot continue for long, man. This is civil war that was provoked by Western ruling class, and it has to stop. Oh, then I make of course announcement about live stream today. I forget to mention it in the morning in the first update. I said it in the second part on Patreon, but I forget to mention it during the first part, and therefore I make announcement 5 o'clock this afternoon. Then this information also interesting, that new US guidance on Kiev using US arms to target Russian territory in force. Now US guidance is in force. According to Sputnik, the Pentagon has declined to confirm whether such strikes have already happened by Kiev regime forces. We all know that that kind of strikes has happened yesterday or day before. I shared on my Telegram these photos of the fragments of the missiles from HIMARS MLRS that were found in Belgorod region. So Kiev regime, formerly Kiev regime, in reality US military personnel already shelling Belgorod region, at least Belgorod region, with HIMARS MLRS systems. And I'm afraid it's only a matter of maybe hours, maybe days, and eventually ATACMS, US-made ATACMS, British-made Storm Shadows, and French Scalp-PGs most likely also will be used for strikes deep inside Russian territory. And then I don't know how Moscow will react. Moscow may react preemptively, of course. Moscow may conduct some steps as a preemptive measure, or Moscow may react after these long-range strikes. Massive long-range strikes will take place, and let's I don't know. Let's hope world will not end up in nuclear Armageddon. Questions, by the way, I don't see questions. So, oh, it's already 1 hour, isn't it? Time went quite fast. And then I share this information, by the way. Tomorrow, on June 6, Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó will hold their meeting with the leadership of the Russian Rosatom on the sidelines of the St. Petersburg's International Economic Forum. Great news, by the way. Hungary and Russia are cooperating in a number of directions, including atomic energy, civilian atomic energy, and it's good. I mean, I said so many times that these guys, man, these guys in charge of Hungary, in leadership of Hungary, I mean, they are legendary politicians. I said it so many times that sometimes I feel like, I mean, let me pass on this news, because I praise these guys and their bravery, political bravery, really so many times. But it's true, by the way. I mean, Szijjártó, Orban, they are doing, in my personal opinion, great job for Hungary. They really are protecting Hungary and Hungarian society and their traditions and values, which is something that I can understand. So Auracraft is commenting, do you prefer watermelon or oranges? Answer, I love them both equally. I don't like none of it. When I was kid, I was quite like all kids, by the way. I was like all fruits. But once we get older, probably we are just I don't know, man. We are getting a little boring, I guess. With the years, I'm 46 now. I still want to think that I'm young, but probably, not as young as I would like. So yeah, it's a great fruit, though. Sorry, dear friends, if I miss any question, and let me check. I almost forgot about it, by the way. Uh, Jerry Corgan is asking on Boosty, it is true that Russia and Georgia don't have diplomatic relations? Yes, it is true. Thank you very much for donation, Jerry, and for your question. Yes, it is true. Russia and Georgia don't have diplomatic relations. If nothing has happened that I did not know about, there is no diplomatic relations between the two countries since the 2000 because of 2008 conflict, when previous leader of the Georgia, Saakashvili, reignited basically civil war in Georgia between Tbilisi and Tskhinvali being capital of South Ossetia. So Saakashvili, in my personal opinion, under orders of the Washington, under orders of the CIA and Pentagon, initiated later evening on 7th of August, reignited this civil war with Ossetia, South Ossetia, and on the 8th of August, under orders of Saakashvili and his associates, Georgian armed forces opened fire on the Russian peacekeepers. And once this happened, of course, Moscow don't really had any other options but to get involved, because attack on peacekeepers is act of war. And I'm quite sure Saakashvili and his associates ordered militaries to open fire on Russian peacekeepers that were likely armed, by the way. They did not stand a chance against heavily armored battalions. I'm quite sure this order was given by Tbilisi to provoke direct confrontation with Russia. And that's exactly what happened. At the time, President of Russia was Medvedev. Of course, Putin was the prime minister, and it was Chinese. There was Olympic Games, by the way, in China at the time. Summer Olympics, and Putin was in China, and Medvedev was a president. And well, after attacks on peacekeepers, of course, Russia get involved in few days time. This conflict between Georgia and Russia ended. Saakashvili's regime capitulated, but that regime achieved what it was ordered by Washington. They provoked this conflict, and if you remember, demonization of Russia began exactly then, in August 2008. Just check media, by the way, and you will see that this hardcore demonization, hardcore propaganda from the West against Russia started exactly then. And that's why I'm saying, by the way, this Georgian this confrontation, provocation of the conflict between Georgia and Russia, military armed coup d'etat in Kiev in 2014, and then civil war in Ukraine, and lastly provocation or initiation of this conflict in Ukraine, between full-scale conflict between Russia and Ukraine. That's all that stuff is part of one big plan that Western ruling class is acting on. I mean, unfortunately, my English is not good enough. Otherwise, I will definitely explain my vision of the situation better. I will try it for sure. So yes, since 2008, there is no diplomatic relationships between Russia and Georgia. I cannot remember a date when exactly decision was made, and now it's a Switzerland, by the way. Formally, it's a Switzerland is mediator. Buildings where embassies were still operating, and staff is working there, by the way. In Georgian embassy, it's a Russian staff. In Russia, it's a Georgian staff. Although officially they called they call they are operating as if they are part of Swiss diplomatic mission. That's how it's done. Let me check here. Ruski Brat, thank you very much for your donation. Good evening, Levan. Keep up the amazing work. Your analysis and commentary are very important part of spreading the truth to as many people as possible in these times of upheaval and world chaos. Thank you very much, Ruski Brat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Your commentary and your support. Thank you. And did I miss? Today is a D-Day. What did those poor soldiers die for? Can you imagine? He did not know the difference between my hometown of Belgrade and the Russian city of Belgorod. Whom? Bobby LaForce is commenting about it. Who didn't know difference between Belgorod and the Belgrade? Belgrade is the capital of great capital of Serbia, of course. Great city, by the way. Serbia is a friendly nation to Russia, and if someday there will be some conference of the bloggers, and I will be invited in Serbia, I would love to go there, of course. You know, it's historically, by the way, we have warm feelings towards Serbia. First of all, because of the history, and also, I mean, all of us are Orthodox Christians. It does play a role, by the way. I may not be very religious, but still I'm grew up in this culture of Orthodox Christianity, and we all see each other as brothers and sisters. Georgia, Russia, Greece, Serbia, all the other Eastern Europeans, by the way. Sometimes when I get upset, like it happened a few days ago, I was little tough on Bulgaria, but I was upset about leadership of Bulgaria and some other Eastern European states that are acting in interests of Western ruling class against Russia. But when it comes to people, by the way, I mean, times come and go, but we're gonna stay as brothers and sisters anyway, I believe. So, and old age, I don't understand what you mean. Old age 60. Today is D-Day. What did those poor soldiers die for? If you're being sarcastic, that 80 years ago, brave warriors from US, UK, Canada, and all the countries, but many countries, by the way, that were and still are in a Commonwealth. Soldiers from those countries also, I believe, they all participated in this landing. So many thousands of people give their lives to defeat Nazi Germany, and we always, we never forget that here in post-Soviet area, by the way, and in Russia. And it is sad and ironic, of course, that now, after 80 years, these countries, by the way, that were liberated from the Western Front by Allied forces and from Eastern Front by Soviet Union, by Soviet people, many of those countries are in support of this Nazi regime and standing on very strange, to put it mildly, positions. It is sad and it's tragedy, really. It's tragic. But, you know. Oh, Bobby LeForce is commenting. We love you and your English too. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Uh, Question, dear friends, thank you all for your kindness. I mean, I'm trying my best, and hopefully I'm improving little by little, because despite the, I spent in journalism almost entire year, entire life. I started publishing articles when I was 17, even before I went to university. I mentioned this quite a number of times, but I was writing always. I never worked in TV as a presenter, so I don't know how to work with a camera. I don't have a special speech. Those people are training, by the way, how to talk. All those presenters. I don't, because I don't have that kind of training, because I was writing. So no one really cared how I talk. And my experience is in writing, and I'm learning now. I mean, I'm learning, and hopefully I'm getting a little better with more practice as a presenter, and also hopefully my English is improving. I cannot notice it, by the way. It's difficult for me to notice improvement in my English, but hopefully I'm improving little by little. Nidish Kumar is asking, which countries from Asia, Europe, Africa, and South America can we expect in BRICS? Well, that's a big question, isn't it, Nidish? I would like to see Indonesia, of course, in the BRICS. Indonesia is a bigger deal. I would like, and Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken, on the rise, economically speaking. I would love to see peace between India and Pakistan, and Pakistan is very important country, and therefore, and Pakistan needs some help, really. I mean, economically, in to conduct some reforms there, and BRICS could be very helpful. So I see Pakistan also, by the way, maybe not as a member in next several years. It might take little longer than that, but one day, it all depends, of course, on relationships between India and Pakistan, first of all. In Asia, I mean, India is a member of the BRICS, so, and India and Bangladesh, they are close partners. So Bangladesh, sometime in the future, can become a member of the BRICS. Russia is actively working in Bangladesh. Nuclear power station is built right now by Russia. Vietnam, by the way, Vietnam is already associated member, isn't it? Or am I mistaken? Thailand, if I'm not mistaken, Thailand's leadership just recently made a statement that they want to become members of the BRICS also. So all the major countries, all of Global South, by the way, all of it. I mean, I can mention all the countries, really. For some countries, it might take longer than for others, but eventually, I mean, let's unite the entire world. Why not? I mean, if we will build a just system, then more and more countries will want to be part of this global institution. So why not? It's all depends on our countries, how just system we will be able to build, and if more just system it will be, of course, it will gain more and more popularity among other countries. And when it comes to Africa, by the way, it's the same story. Egypt is already member of or associate member. Egypt is a big, of course, when it comes to Northern Africa, for example. Algeria, by the way, with new members coming in, I'm not quite sure now which countries are in the BRICS. I know first 5, but I'm not quite sure about the rest of it. But Algeria, by the way, Egypt, both countries definitely can be part of BRICS. Nigeria, very important country in Africa. South Africa is already a member of the BRICS. Angola, by the way, one day Angola is also a major country. Potentially, I mean, countries in Central Africa, in Sahel region, once situation will get better, those countries can join. Sudan, if Sudan will deal with its internal issues, can join. So I mean, it's any country can join. Really, it all depends on current domestic situation on those countries, economical situation, state of institutions, I guess. And I mean, in better conditions those countries are, sooner they will probably become members of the BRICS if they want to. That's why I would probably never understand what Argentina did, by the way. They lost such a unique opportunity, man, to become a part of BRICS and then to ask all the members for support when it comes to reforms of their state institutions, financial reforms, economical reforms. And by the way, because Argentina is a member state, of course, all the countries will be obligated to provide support. Knowledge, expertise, finances. And the Argentinian people voted for this crazy Milei? Why? Why, man? This is, I don't know, man. I cannot understand that. Let's hope Milei will make some miracle and Argentina will achieve some breakthroughs in economical terms, in terms of social development and financial development, but still don't understand why Argentina turned its back on the BRICS, man. That was a huge mistake. Jerry Kogan is commenting: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates are the new BRICS members. Thank you very much, Jerry. As I said, I'm not. Yes, I was struggling with new members. So Egypt, by the way, is already a member of the BRICS. Ethiopia is a member of the BRICS, also, of course, major country in the region. Saudi Arabia, of course, United Arab Emirates in the Middle East. I mean, and Iran, also major countries. So Vadim Segida is commenting: I'm still clueless how that clown won in Argentina. I have the same question. I really don't understand how that happened, man. What people were thinking when they went on these police stations and voted for that individual. Once again, I really wish Argentina all the best, man. I mean, who don't likes Argentina, man? There is anybody in this world that don't likes Argentina, especially because of the great football team. Although Argentina is famous not just for a great football team, Argentina is famous for great wine, by the way, and history, of course. There was a dark side of the dark period of history after Second World War in Argentina, but there's some other topics that makes Argentina, brings Argentina in a good light. It's not just football, but wine. They are one of the top exporters of the beef in the world, and they have one of the best beefs. Maybe not like in Australia or Japan, but they are on top there. And many more. I'm not expert in Argentina, by the way. So all the best to them, but how they did that kind of stuff, man. How they turned their back on BRICS, I don't know. And this is, by the way, video of the arrival of Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Chad. I was correct, he is in Chad. He visited several African countries in this week already, which is great, by the way. Which is great. Africa is on rise. African nations are on rise, and it has huge, immense potential, by the way. Immense potential. Also, this afternoon, information was shared that Russian armed forces launched missile strikes on the military and logistics infrastructure of the Zelensky's regime in Odessa region. At this point, I didn't see any precise information what exactly was targeted, but we have this video. There was at least 3 missiles or missile hits. Also interesting that today President of Russian Federation this afternoon, he is already in St. Petersburg. Of course, he will participate in International Economical Forum, and he went to Yachta Center. This building is, by the way, highest skyscraper in Europe. If not all members of our community know about it, this is Yachta Center. It's the highest skyscraper in Europe. It's in St. Petersburg, and it belongs to Gazprom. It's the main office, head office of the Gazprom there. And Putin went to Yachta Center. He had talk with Miller. This guy next to him is Miller, head of Gazprom. They exchange opinions about Gazprom future developments. And after this meeting, Putin should have a conversation with the editors-in-chief and the chiefs of major news outlets, major media outlets, not just Russian ones, and not just from friendly countries, but also from the hostile countries. So most likely in that room, it's not necessarily press conference. It's more like it's gonna be in a style of like conversation, as I understand. And I believe Western editor and chiefs will be presented also. And let's see what questions they have. Of course, we will find out about it in tomorrow, most likely. What kind of questions they have and what answers Putin will give. It is interesting. It is interesting for sure. The only intelligent move of my country would be to join BRICS. Oh, Bobby, as far as I know, you are from Serbia, and well, that will be great. That will be a great move, by the way. Serbia, Chernogoria, Montenegro, by the way. I still don't understand why Serbia and Montenegro get split. I don't get it. But anyways, Serbia and Montenegro. And by the way, if Serbia and Montenegro find a common ground with Croatia, and I guess in that case Hungary will join in, and that's gonna be forced, by the way. That's gonna be forced because this group of countries will have access to the sea, and you know, they will become basically window for rest of the Europe to the rest of the world in the multipolar world. So of course those countries will benefit greatly, and it will be good for BRICS also, because in any ways, of course, sides have to, I mean, world is getting divided now in the Western bloc and the rest of the world. But in any case, both sides should have some means of communication, including economical activity. People should never get divided. People should be in touch always, anyways. So therefore, you know, this window into multipolar world will definitely benefit rest of the Western world also. And dear friends, it's 1.5 hours already. And I only have like few news left. Finally, Boeing launches its first manned spacecraft, Starliner, successfully, which is great, by the way. Congratulations to Boeing. They definitely need some good news, especially nowadays when nothing good being said about Boeing for quite a while. And also, by the way, this news here that Ukraine will no longer allow dual citizens to leave the country. So, because of these extreme shortages in manpower, Kiev regime made decision not to allow people with dual citizenship to leave country. I don't even know, is it legal even? Because if someone is a citizen of Ukraine and also citizen of Germany, let's say, or citizen of I don't know, Russia, okay, they would not let Russian citizens out. But if it's also citizen of Germany or UK or US, what rights they have? And even if it's citizen of Russia, what rights this Kiev regime has to not let them out of the country? I don't know, man. I don't know, but this is crazy. This is quite crazy, man. And that's it when it comes to my posts on the Telegram. Hopefully you will find those posts interesting and informative, and we had a good chat, isn't it? What's the question? Can we get in Cuba into BRICS this time? Nidish Kumar is asking. Well, I love to see Cuba in BRICS, by the way. I feel so sorry for people of Cuba because of this illegal embargo that US imposed on Cuba. I don't know how long it will take for Cuba to become a member of BRICS, but I really hope BRICS member states will keep close ties with their as much as possible with Cuba and will help with reforms and with the economy so that locals will benefit. Ordinary people first of all, man. Can you imagine decades and generation after generation after generation, people were raised in Cuba under heaviest embargo from the US, man. It's heartbreaking, really. So I want Cuba to be member of the BRICS. First of all, man, if you ask me who to become our next member of the BRICS, I will say Cuba. Thank you for reminding me about it, by the way. We did not spoke about that part of the world. That's why I didn't mention Cuba. But of course, Cuba should be in the BRICS. It's not gonna be easy, of course. Cuba needs great support from. We'll need a great support from BRICS member states, but we can do it. We can do it. You know. And dear friends, sorry if I miss your question. Let me. Ruski Brat, Levan, I can offer to drive you to different locations sometime in your area for you to film content footage and save on cost. Sergei Posad, etc. For example, just an offer, don't feel obligated. Well, thank you very much, Ruski Brat. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. I will keep in mind. I will not keep in mind. So thank you very much. I can understand I'm not host of the big channel or public figure, especially in Russia, by the way. That's why I have English language channel, that I don't want to be known here in Russia. I don't need any extra attention. But still, by the way, I talk about conflict with Ukraine, and I already received number of times some death threats and that kind of stuff. So therefore, I have to be as careful as possible. And first of all, for my family, by the way, to keep my family safe, and therefore, whenever I receive some initiatives to see each other or to meet or that kind of stuff, I have to be careful. By the way, it's I don't want to be seen as someone arrogant or that kind of stuff. I would love to have a meeting, by the way, with members of our community, but because of some security issues, and we know this regime in Kiev, they already targeted a number of journalists here in Russia, and therefore I need to be cautious when it comes to that stuff. Otherwise, I'm very grateful for offer. Thank you. And dear friends, if I may, I will end this live stream. We had a great chat, isn't it? Thank you all. Thank you all for participating. And next live stream, by the way, next live stream on Sunday. On Sunday. So let's continue our talk. To be honest, I really prefer just a chat between each other about topics that we find interesting at this particular moment. Although, of course, I mean, simultaneously, I will always try to share with you some news also. But chat itself is a great to me personally. So thank you very much. Have a great day, and if I may, I will end this live stream now, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.